Hello everyone, and welcome back to Properton. We're just looking at an interchange that I built off camera. It replaced the old one that was sitting here that was pretty ugly. There's no other way to say it. It looked really bad. So thanks to my friends Stiletto in the city. She did a great tutorial on building a parklow, and I kind of took inspiration from that and building this interchange here. So we've got a bit of a blend of a parklow and dumbbell interchange going on here, just to kind of keep traffic flowing as best we can. At the moment, it's not very busy, so in the future, if we need to, we can definitely look at making some changes. But yeah, that is what we are looking at, and that is the theme for today's video. We're going to be taking everything in this city that maybe looks a little too ugly and turning it into something beautiful. So let's get started. So we're sitting here looking at our small town that we built in the last episode, and we're going to expand it by a little bit more. So we're going to grab a couple tiles here and unlock those and start there. So we're going to take our roadway network and just expand that a little bit. So we'll start with this road here, and we're going to try and make a bit of a grid, but a little bit not of a grid, if that makes sense. So we'll take this out, and we're going to turn off snapping to zone cell length, as well as snapping to guidelines. And I want this out to about 120 exactly at a 90. And this is going to be a little finicky, but anyways, once we get it, perfect. And then we'll place this road as just a bit of a placeholder. I'm going to zoom in a little bit there, sorry. For now, we'll just put that there, and that'll work fine. So again, we'll go out another 120, and then this road at a 90, and just keep going until we have what we need. If we can, I'll dabble into the grid tool and see see if this actually works going this way. It may not. Nope. Okay. Thought I would just try something out, but it's not gonna work like I think, so we'll just keep going. So I don't sit here forever trying to play with that, but alright, so we're mostly done for what we've done here. We'll come back and finish detailing. My trees are looking a little funny, just with some of the background running programs. It does kind of strained my graphics card a little bit, so appreciate your patience with those. I can try and reload it a little bit later in the episode. All right, now that we are textures reloaded, had a brief moment there to reload some things. We're gonna move on from this area and into the next part of our build. So over here in Barlow Mills, we've expanded this whole area here to cover this kind of neighborhood that we're densifying. Just looking at our policies, we're actually just going to turn the roadside parking fee up quite a little bit, just because we need to balance our budget a little bit. And yeah, this will get Sims to either park in their houses or also in parking lots, which we'll place a few of those down as well. So we have some nice big commercial assets here, so we're actually not going to wipe those out. And then looks like we were starting with some row housing in this area. So we'll come in and we'll continue with our densifying plans here. And I'm just going to close that info view so I can see what I'm actually zoning. So if we zone that there, oops, sorry, wrong button. And looks like, yeah, some of them have already started to mix in. So I'm just gonna change this whole block here and then see who's ever complaining gets wiped out. Ugh. That road has been glitched and I don't know why. Whew, anyways, okay, yeah, we know there's still some issues with the game, so we're just gonna be nice and patient with it, but yeah, so anyways, we'll keep raising the density in a lot of these areas here, you know, with a mix of some high density housing as well. Sorry, medium density actually. And yeah, we want to try and sort of face buildings the way we want them the best we can. So let a few of these build in as we move along. And again, we'll be zoning in. I left probably little gaps here and there for some of the other buildings that we're going to put in. So yeah, we'll just kind of move our way along. Looks like we've got some lower density housing here, so we'll put some mixed use there. And this is our kind of European area, so we're gonna take these and put that there actually, and then I'll dezone this for now. That one there too. Again, we just want to be really careful with how big we're making things, because we don't want the rent to get too high in this area, even though we want everything to densify. The kind of whole point is this area will still stay affordable. So we'll wipe out a few more of those. And yeah, we can see our commercial demand starting to head down, which is great. And then just clean up the zoning here, and those buildings should start to come in, which is great. And same thing back here. Take out a few of these and let them regrow into something else. And we're almost used up most of our demand bars, so I'm trying not to jump around too much, but we got a couple of different projects that we're kind of working on simultaneously here. Oops, looks like I accidentally dezoned that building. Okay, well, it can become mixed use now. So what we can do again is we'll just sort of place our zoning in, and then when things are ready to grow, you know, they'll kind of already be there growing in as it is. So we'll keep putting down our European style just to take up everything in this area, and just keep checking our zone so I remember to not accidentally zone in the wrong area. But and over here we'll just give them a little bit of different parking options as well, and whack that up to 25 as well, and so we can ooh, a new signature building, excellent. So that we can get tax revenue and other revenues coming into the city, so that it will help us pay for things. And just again trying to spot any of these little zones that maybe I left blank until I was ready to have something grow in as a zone building. So fill in a few of these rough edges here. It'll help too once we get a high enough level. I think, what do we need? Great town, and then we'll get some of the high density commercial, and that'll kind of help because a lot of the mixed use, it covers commercial, but yeah, it does also take some of the medium density residential demands. So, but anyways, now we're gonna move on to probably one of the ugliest parts of our city. So we have this very not beautiful at all industrial area that I zoned a lot of during early parts of the game when I was still getting used to some of the demand bars. And I've also learned now I'm trying not to chase demand as much, but yeah, a bunch of this is going to get wiped out, but we already are sitting at quite a high industrial demand, and I just want to make sure to... So unemployment rate is nice and low, which is good, because it'll help us because we're going to wipe out a bunch of jobs here. So we're going to wipe out a bunch of this and try and sort of zone more strategically so we can have little pockets areas of, you know, smaller industrial buildings, and then we'll have the larger factories hopefully in some areas. We're also going to put down a few specialized industry as well, just to try and boost the number of warehouses that the game will spawn, and yeah, just trying to be a little more thoughtful of what we're doing in this area. All right, so we're gonna pause the game and we're gonna start by dezoning first. So it's gonna be a big goodbye to all of that there. And then we'll get our sledgehammer out and try and wipe out everything, including Viceroy Gamry and the Separatists. No, I'm just kidding. Star Wars nerd over here, though. And get all this nice and cleared out, because we want to, again, like I was saying, just be a little more selective with our zoning, and our roadway network was also looking pretty bad. Not really proud of anything I really built here, so, and you know, I think a lot of people, sometimes when you're playing City Skylines, there's a couple different ways to play the game. Some people love the hyper realist and, you know, would be probably a little more smart than me and not build this ugliness. Oops, gonna have to fix that road too. But you know, cities get redeveloped and things change, so I'm perfectly comfortable with cutting all this out, especially because it just did not look good, and we want our citizens to live in a beautiful place, not an ugly one. So that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Get that road placed there, and I'm actually just going to quick sidebar upgrade that. That looks like it did not snap to the right place. Let's try right about there. Okay, I'm not gonna get distracted with that. That'll be an off-camera or detailing time lapse kind of thing. So before we get too deep into rezoning, we're gonna work on some of our roadway network. So I wanted to do something a little bit different here as well. So we're gonna start with the 3-lane asymmetric road, and we're just gonna have it go straight into this junction here. We're gonna be doing a lot of sort of lane math and changes to this road, so I'm just gonna get basically a road kind of in, and then we'll work with it in a bit later. So just quickly put out the rest of a frame here, and we're gonna take one and we're gonna have it go diagonally right kind of through the middle the best we can. If we can get kind of close to 45, that's ideal. That's probably about as good as it's gonna get. And then we'll go through like that. So this road here, we're just going to start by going into our medium roads and getting the 5-lane asymmetric road, and then using the replace tool, we're going to upgrade this road here, as well as we're going to replace and drag into the intersection as we do so to replace that road there. Then we're going to come in and grab our 1-lane, one-way road, which is almost impossible to say, but anyways, simple curve, and we're just going to measure back about 80 units or so. It's about there. And then if we snap it into this lane here and go right into this section here, I'm just gonna pause the game real quick while I do this. Then you can make a nice curve again. If I just turn off snapping to guidelines and possibly zoning cell length as well. We're going to try and get it at a nice 80 if we can. I don't think that's going to end up working out though, but we'll put that right to about there. And then if we come into the same area again, we can take this road and we'll drag it to about there as well. And then what we can do is we'll clean up some of our roads so that we get some of our lane math. And there we go, we have this great little intersection that's kind of got all our lane math available. You know, cars can come straight across through here and then they merge into the other two lanes, and all those kinds of things. So it'll probably take a little bit for the traffic AI to figure out what the heck I've just done. But yeah, that's pretty happy with this junction. So we'll transition from here into building more of our roadway network and placing down the first little bit of our assets. So I'm really appreciating how this area is starting to come together now that most of these factories have grown in and everything. We're really getting a nice variety of buildings and far less smokestacks, which is great to see as well. I placed in a dog park, a few other parks, and some even commercial on this side of the city as well, just to sort of give ourselves a few different options. So overall, pretty happy with how this is looking, but basically this will be the idea. I'm going to work on a few more sections, cleaning up roadway networks and rezoning, and then we'll be back to review it together. And right as I place the first thing, we've unlocked milestone 7, so I didn't actually get very far at all. Let's quickly take a look at what we have here so far. So in this one, all we get is an increased loan limit, ore mining, and the gated community policy. But we are just one milestone away now from our goal of big towns. So I'll get back to building and let's see if we can get there. Alright, so I've been working really hard at trying to sort of clean up this area and make it look nice and see the byproduct of some of that here. So one final thing I'm looking at doing is just moving some of our city service buildings around and then adding in the last little bit of our industrial. So we'll take a road here and just add in one kind of straight across here at a 90. And then first thing we'll grab is we've had a water treatment plant over here, and just with some of the pollution and noise pollution, I kind of want to move it because it's close to our groundwater deposit here. So we're going to relocate this building all the way over here as well and kind of hook it into, let's see if we can see what orientation will look best. Maybe over on this corner. Yeah, like that there. And we also had a crematorium over here. And same thing, this is a bit of a polluter, so we're trying to keep these polluting objects away from our residents so they don't complain too much. So we'll bring that here, and then what we'll do is we'll just fill out a last little bit of some industry. So we'll hook into this road here as well. And ambulance was en route to that building. I moved it, but you know, they'll live hopefully. Sorry, that's kind of dark anyways. I'm just gonna draw in a few more road connections. And yeah, not getting distracted with my own sense of humor over here, but yeah, we'll place down a few more buildings, and we'll keep using pedestrian paths like we have to sort of move some of the zoning off roads we don't want it on. Some of the paths I wanted to delete, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be possible in some areas because as soon as you delete them, the building kind of freaks out. So anyways, yeah, once we kind of just get them off, some of these roads are yeah, this one's like kind of steep and that kind of stuff, so the zoning will look weird, but we'll place down a few more large buildings over on this side, and that one should actually be able to just zone on its own. A couple of 6x6, a few smaller ones here. Just try and kind of recover our jobs. Our unemployment rate was sitting, I think, I can check here in a moment, but it had kind of crept up a little bit higher than I would like. Where are we? 9.5. So that's better. You know, we were at around 2. It is starting to come down, but we were starting to lose some of our residential buildings as well. We're kind of abandoning, so we do need to make sure that our Sims still have jobs to go to. So we'll put down some commercial here as well, just because, you know, we can kind of have a bit of a mixed use in this area and those sorts of things, and then it'll kind of help with some of this commercial demand that's here as well. But yeah, really happy with how this area is sort of filling out, and all these different service buildings and industrial uses, and it just looks a lot cleaner, so pretty pleased. We'll do a quick little tour here in just a moment once we finish working on some of this zoning. But again, just want to reiterate, appreciate you guys, whoever tuned into the video today. If you do have any questions or comments, you know, don't forget to like the video and subscribe too if you like, and keep updated with any ongoing content that'll be coming out. I am shifting a little bit of my focus more to CS2 content, but I'm not stopping CS1 at this point in time. Spindle is still has some life left in it. I'm still able to get the save to run and everything like that, but you know, I am enjoying the City Skylines 2 building as well quite a bit, so yeah, so that's just kind of a quick little channel update. But let's take a quick tour of all the things that we've done. So we started over here and rebuilt this area first with this kind of nice junction. I came through and put some tree detailing and some medians down the middle as well. We cleaned up all the turning lanes, and those kinds of things as well, so that any of the right turns here and here as well aren't being redundant on this road or this road. And then just kind of, yeah, angled a bit more of our grid here. I put a roundabout through here just to help vehicles get around the sharp corner. And then this side, we started building some more of our larger buildings again, just with a mix of some smaller ones. And then here I just placed down a couple parks and tree detailing as well, and those will hopefully grow in soon and fill out this area a lot better. And then kind of over here in this area again, we had another mix of some smaller assets, and we also have some repeated gas stations there. But and this side is where I really tried to, you know, grow some of the bigger factory buildings and warehouses and that kind of stuff, so that each thing sort of had its own use. And then, yeah, our service buildings that we've relocated. So we'll come and just get a little closer look at some of the buildings here. So yeah, really great assets. I tried to sort of zone away from the road just because we are dealing with a little bit of terrain here. And yeah, this path is just here to keep the zoning attached to this road. But yeah, some of these buildings are pretty nice, and not all of them have a lot of smokestacks. And you know, I think overall, if you kind of look at the top-down view, this looks a lot cleaner and nicer than what was there. So we'll just leave this bit here while our city kind of recovers demands and that kind of stuff. You know, we kind of put a big shock to the system. And then over here, just to kind of get some jobs going as well, I did place down some mining. We have a coal and metal ore mines here, and I did place the buildings up here on this road just simply because if we look at our air pollution, it kind of generates off this building, so I'm trying to keep it from not blowing right into this town here. So I'll keep an eye on this. I'm hoping that's as big as it's going to get and we're not going to get any complaints. But yeah, that will be kind of all for the city fixing today, and admiring this interchange again. But yeah, let's see how our downtown core is doing as well. A few high rent complaints, which is not totally surprising, but a lot more medium density buildings are finally growing in and row housing, so it's coming along. You know, it's going to take some time again, like I said, as we rebalance, and maybe we'll look at you know, building some other lower density commercial areas in here as well, and maybe we'll get a bit of tourist attractions going as well. We do have large parks and large sports parks unlocked now, so that'll also make our city a little more desirable for people to move into. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with how this is turning out. So if you did enjoy today's video, please do consider giving it a like or subscribe. And again, please pass along any feedback, questions you might have, or anything you'd like to see built in this city. And thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.